Welcome back to Watchers at the Movies. This is our December episode that we're doing in January. First episode of the new year. First podcast I've recorded this year.
Is it?
It is. So, yeah, we're going to get right into it. We're doing Aquaman today. We're in a whole new location. Lou Ferrigno location. We're in a whole new location. I'm actually mobile today. We got a whole new setup, so if the sound sounds a little different than it normally does,
bear with us.
That is why we're testing out some new equipment. We're here with Jimmy Lopez.
Hello.
Drinking a bottle of Moscato right out of the bottle. Fisheye.
Fisheye, baby.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Jimmy also not a newcomer to Watchers on the Couch.
Nope.
Did the Better Call Saul season with our good friend Mike. We're also here with Nick.
Oh, can I do a really corny YouTube entrance?
YouTube entrance?
Do
Yeah,
it. Just whatever
sure.
it is, just do it.
Yeah.
What's up? It's your boy. Don't forget to hit that smash and like button.
Smash and
Smash,
like
Why
like,
does every-
smash that like button.
For real, why does every YouTube person tell you to smash it and then go to the comment section, tell me how you feel about it?
Don't forget to hit the notification button,
So
hit
you
that
can
bell
stay
so you
up to
can
date.
get my up-to-dates. I always wanted to do that.
It's because
and then I
of
fucked it up.
It's because of YouTube's algorithms in order to have your videos be visible to other people that are watching similar things. But yeah, it's almost like the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, no, like it's any main channel of somewhere between like 16 and say 50.
So go ahead and smash that subscribe button.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why it's smashed, but yeah, everybody does smash. It's
Just Hulk smash it.
Just Hulk smash the subscribe.
unzip
on
your pants, slap your dick against the left mouse key right on top of that like button.
or your iPhone or your HTC. Is that even still a thing?
Yeah, that's what that is right
You got
there.
an HTC right
yeah,
there?
I fucking hate
your
it.
Android, whatever, man. Get on these. We need them listens.
Practice your Thigh Master or your Kegel exercises on your mouse and click that button.
We're trying to get to that 2 million listens, folks. 2 million, that's what we're at.
That's right. Speaking of getting wet, I watched a wet Jason Momoa for about 2.5 hours
My
yesterday.
God, yes.
So, full disclosure, did this movie come out on Christmas Day?
Came out,
Or the day before, or Christmas Eve?
I thought it was whenever was the next Friday or
Okay,
Friday before.
'cause-
I want to say it was like the 22nd.
Well, because I think
Yeah.
my sister was saying, like, she texted me and said, Ryan wants you, my nephew, wants you to go see Aquaman with him. I was under the assumption that I was taking him by, like, me and him while he was on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, like, Brandon, my brother-in-law, my sister, myself, and Ryan on a Friday night. I had the biggest, like, panic attack while I was in the theater watching hordes of people come into this theater, which is so much different than your experience, which was you and one other guy.
Well, that's why I said at the time of posting, people started to fill in afterwards. But yeah, there was probably only a couple dozen at most.
How about your experience with it?
It was pretty packed. We went like the Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember, after it opened.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was busy. It wasn't like overly busy, but there was, where we were sitting kind of middle top section. I mean, it was all filled in.
I also didn't see it in IMAX or 3D this
No,
time.
neither did I.
Because I needed to hurry up and see it so we could do this episode.
I could see.
So I had to do a 1 o'clock standard showing.
I literally looked at my sister like 2 or 3 times in the movie and was like, and that's where the 3D effect would be.
Yeah, right.
I would actually love to go back and see this in 3D just to see what it looks like.
Didn't you say that you like almost exclusively see movies in 3D now?
Usually, because otherwise, why bother going to it? If I have a 3D IMAX or a 3D IMAX option, I'll usually go see that because that's the only real
I'll
draw to
choose
go
the
to a
IMAX
theater.
over 3D, but the theater that I saw it at didn't have an IMAX, so like I just saw it on a regular screen, which I still thought was like great. I'm probably in the minority. I think this movie was better than Wonder Woman.
I haven't seen Wonder Woman, so yeah. At the time of recording this, I still have not seen Wonder Woman.
So I will go
was
downstairs on my wall of doom,
Yes.
and I will give that to you so that you and the lovely missus can watch that. Because
It's a good flick. Yeah, it's a good flick, man.
movie.
It's solid.
I'm going to tell you something else. I also haven't seen Justice League.
You're not
Because
missing anything.
that's
I like it.
Everybody told me not to watch it.
Do you
so
have the
I haven't
director's
watched
cut?
it.
Yeah.
I need to borrow that.
Yeah.
Because I've seen bits and pieces of the director's cut, but never the full thing, and I think it's going to be better that way. Mm-hmm. But still it's. Here's my biggest problem with Justice League was just the way it looked. It wasn't the actors, it wasn't the story, it was how bad the CG was. That really ruined it for me.
Well, this movie was heavily CG.
Well,
what did you think of that?
So I just want to throw this out there that it is a legit Avatar underwater. I
have never seen Avatar.
So there's no reason to watch Avatar if you weren't going to see it in 3D.
Right.
Okay.
So it didn't bother me too much because it was like the CG was, I thought, fairly well done except for a few scenes.
Being underwater, we all knew that like their hair was going to be all floaty and stuff. I thought that was going to look like a freaking dumpster fire. Can I swear on this, by the way?
Yeah, you can swear on this.
It looked great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I said, I think it's probably going to be an unpopular opinion. I think the last time I looked at it, I think it had grossed more than Wonder Woman did.
It made $1 billion easily.
It made like, as Kevin Smith would say, all the monies. It made a lot of fucking money.
It's like I said, I haven't seen Justice League or Wonder Woman, but definitely post Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, my favorite DC movie. Like, Dark Knight's probably still at the top, and then after that is probably this one out of the DC movies I've seen so far. I liked Man of Steel quite a bit.
I think. Well, I did too, and that's a movie that everybody fucking shits on.
I don't know why. That's a good movie.
We did a whole like, if you want to hear us talk about Man of Steel, you can really dig into some archives. Find the old Show Me Comicast one, where Sam Jordan and I talk about. We have an episode called Defending the Man of Steel, and it's all about us. We're defending the hell out of that movie.
Real quick, Aquaman has made, and this was posted 9 hours ago, has made $940 million worldwide on its way to $1 billion. So hasn't made $1 billion yet, but it's going to get there.
That's huge for DC.
Yeah, it's
that
huge.
Saved the franchise.
What did Justice League make?
Oh God,
not even that. Actually, I think I was telling Debbie this. Yeah, I think I was texting Debbie, or maybe I was texting you. I don't remember, Nick. I said that the one thing that really fucking drives me nuts in these movies nowadays is the need to make everything 65% funnier.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
I fucking can't stand that. I think that the humor in this was a little much. I think this movie was a lot more mature and darker of a tone because DC is supposed to be a little darker. Fuck you, Deadpool, for ruining that for everybody. Everything's got to be fucking funnier. But like I said, it's an unpopular opinion. I feel like a lot of times the jokes are almost forced in movies.
There's some of that. But I don't know. I thought Thor Ragnarok was done pretty well for the amount of funny it was. Like, there was some corny stuff to it, but I like a little corn and cheese in my comic book movies.
Thor Ragnarok is where I jumped off the Marvel.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they fucked Planet Hulk up so much, or just Takeshi Watati's version of what it was supposed to be?
I knew going into it I wasn't going to get Planet World War Hulk. I knew I wasn't going to get that.
Just too much comedy.
Yeah, I mean, what Guardians came out, or no, it was that, and then it immediately was
Guardians 2?
Infinity War, right?
When Guardians 2 and then
okay,
Ragnarok.
Guardians 2, amazing fucking movie.
And the humor in that is appropriate to the genre.
Absolutely.
I think the thing with Thor was the first 2 Thor movies are really fucking weak movies.
They are.
And Thor 3 is easily the strongest, and it's because Liam Hemsworth is a really good comedic actor as well.
Chris
Hemsworth.
Yes.
Not
Mr.
Cyrus.
Not Mr. Cyrus. No.
Hemsworth the lesser.
Kind of to go back real quick, Justice League made $229 million in the States and $428 worldwide.
Yeah. But if you wouldn't see, and that's the thing, people shit on Justice League. I personally liked it. I watched the original and then the director's cut. The director's cut is definitely better. But they definitely jumped the gun. I feel like if they would have built the universe up first, they also fucked up with I'm a huge Flash fan, and I hate Barry. in Justice League. I fucking hate Barry.
I didn't like his costume.
Did you like Man of Steel? Not Man of Steel. Batman v Superman?
Yes.
Okay.
Ugh.
Batman v Superman is where I checked out because
Yeah.
I defended. Everybody was shitting on that movie even before it came out. Like we had the Batfleck controversy, and
Which
all
I was
of
fine
that.
with that.
Yeah, I was fine with that too. I
was too.
defended nobody liked the what's his name? The guy that played Lex Luthor.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg. Everybody was shitting on that he was
That
going to
was
be
horrible.
that he was going to be the Mark Zuckerberg type of Lex Luthor, and I thought that was a brilliant idea
I
too.
thought so too.
Oh, I couldn't stand it. I could not
Well,
stand
no,
it.
that's the thing is when I watched it, it didn't make any sense.
Right.
Like, why is he doing any of this? We haven't had any, what have you. And then the movie there was no joy in that movie.
Although the Zack Snyder cut, is that the director's cut or is that in there? Because that was a whole nother
they
movie.
probably will not ever release that, unfortunately.
Because they were going to bust out Black Suit Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Or Spider-Man. Superman.
Yeah,
That's what they should have done.
They should
have
have.
kept it. They should have kept Henry Cavill's facial hair and
would have made the most sense, but
And then, not to mention the shit on it some more, Doomsday was atrocious.
Doomsday looked like
A turd with eyeballs.
he looked like Abomination in the
Yeah,
Edward
Abomination.
I
Norton
was
movie.
Yeah.
literally about ready to say that.
I actually never put those two together, but you're absolutely right. They could have gone so many different ways with that. Death of Superman, like a legit full blown. Well, although I guess that'd be a little bit too
It
much.
technically
But
was Death of Superman.
yeah, exactly.
It was,
with
but
Batman in it.
Obviously, they're going to skew it just a little bit so that it's keep fans guessing, and that's fine. I'm absolutely 100% fine with keep the source material pure and make the movie something completely different. Because when you do that, if every single nerd goes into this Aquaman movie or goes into any movie and knows the outcome of whatever storyline they're going to put down, then yes, there are some of the truths that are going to just fucking skeet all over it because they're finally seeing their favorite story on the big screen. But then it takes all the mystery and all the intrigue out of the movie itself.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's the way the first few seasons of Game of Thrones were for me because I knew the books, and then once we got far enough away from the books, it's like now I actually get to enjoy the show because I don't know where it's going.
I don't know if I agree with that 100% because, I mean, even though things are changed for the movie, take example, It. Stephen King's It. Like, we've all seen the original. I don't want to say most. Some of us have read the book, but yet that movie was fantastic. You knew exactly what was going to happen that entire movie, but it was absolutely fantastic.
well, yeah.
At least in my opinion.
That's apples to pears. It's
comic books versus
novels. I mean, they're just so close, but same family, but they're two completely different things.
Right.
So I don't know. Should we get on to the fucking movie proper?
Yeah, let's do that.
Books are weird. It's weird comparing books to comic books that have 50 years of history behind them.
Sure.
And that's why right before we started this, I asked who had seen the movie most recently, Tim, because it's been a little bit and things will definitely come back to me. I probably have the most like Aquaman knowledge as far as the two of you go. He's not like, I don't go deep. I can tell you that
You're in shallow waters when it comes to Aquaman.
absolutely.
No pun intended?
Yeah.
No, the pun,
Or
the
seriously
pun was
pun intended.
yeah.
But
If there's a pun, I make it.
but I will say this. Source material aside, I love this movie.
This is a really good movie. This is a really good, enjoyable movie. Sarah was trying to get me to describe the movie to her, and I once said, "Well, you have to go see it."
I was gonna say, were you guys not able to go at the same time due to scheduling?
Sarah started coming down with stuff, and she was coughing a lot, so she wouldn't be able to go to the theater.
Yeah,
we also didn't
and actually enjoy it.
Yeah, we also didn't record the last Doctor Who episode we were supposed to record this weekend because she got sick too. I went by myself. Meanwhile, we were mentioning Avatar earlier. Avatar was the last movie I saw by myself in the theater.
Really?
Oh, wow.
I have seen 0 movies by myself.
Those are the only
same here.
Those are the only two.
If I don't have somebody to go with, I'll just wait for it to come out. on digital or Blu-ray or whatever.
I used to be that way. It's like, man, if I don't go, I'm just like a lonely guy at the movies or something like that. But it's like, you're not going to talk to the person anyway.
Yeah, right.
So when I went by myself, it's like, well, this is equally as enjoyable.
But the reason,
and I got a $1 hot dog.
But
right.
the reason
Tuesday,
that I want somebody to be there is because, and Nick has been there with him and I. We saw Dark Knight Rises together, and when we left the theater, it was fun to be able to kind of shit on a movie that we really wanted to fucking love. Mm-hmm. Like right there in the moment. I have been waiting. I've been waiting since you asked me to do this, to talk about this. So I'm like really excited to finally fucking talk about it, because Chris in the last podcast, he had just seen the movie and then came over and was trying to talk to me about it. And I was like, look, Tim's put me on a gag order. I can't do this. I'm already gonna do another thing with him, so I can't delve into this.
It's true. There's like conflicts of interest nowadays, because Chris likes to talk movies too.
And I'm like, nope, don't be an asshole. I told him, I said, until this one goes up, you can't post the last one that we just did. So, yeah, like I said, let's get into the movie proper.
So we start off. It's 1985, and Aquaman's dad is hanging out in a lighthouse by himself, and there's a big storm, and he goes out and he sees a fishwoman, Nicole Kidman, out there on the rocks, and brings her in, and she eats his fish and shit.
I was gonna say, would you fuck her?
Oh my God, she is rocking in this movie.
So here's the thing.
Oh.
I found the 1985 Nicole Kidman to be very distracting. I thought she moved weird.
Okay,
I thought she was entirely.
So what you're
CG.
saying is that Marvel has a better grasp of de-aging people than DC does?
I don't know if it's the de-aging thing. I think she just has I don't want to say she has a weird face. She's got a great face. But the de-aging looks weird for her, I thought. But like personally, I didn't think they needed to de-age her when I saw her as mom, Aquaman mom. But like I thought, like the movement of her arms, maybe it's just because she has really thin, weird arms. But I thought it was like some weird like 3D animation. Like I thought she was almost entirely CG at the beginning.
Could it have been just the suit she was wearing?
It could have been.
Like
it very much could have been.
White,
there was no
shiny
definition.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be. It absolutely could be.
Which I'm going to call myself out on this. I'm going to be real
You popped
stupid.
a boner?
No, I had no idea it was her.
Oh, really?
Until later on in the movie, I was like, "Oh shit, that's."
I don't internet very. I don't.
Yeah,
internet
I didn't
very
know
much at
that
all.
Willem Dafoe was in it until like 2 days before.
But I knew, like, I had already seen her in costume, and I was like, "Damn, this is gonna be fucking dope." Catwoman's gonna be fucking in this. Gonna be awesome.
Catwoman?
Yeah, wasn't she Catwoman?
No, Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman.
That's right. Fuck. I am.
And Halle Berry.
I'm fucking. Oh, that's disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
That movie was awful.
The movie was awful. The movie was awful. Halle Berry's Catwoman was not awful.
I just don't see it in Halle Berry. It's just not my type.
Racist.
No.
Sorry, I had to.
No, yeah, she's just not my thing.
I thought this scene of the poor lighthouse getting fucking annihilated was sad.
Did you cry?
We got totally
It.
jacked.
I saw that lighthouse and I was like, this thing is fucking dope, and it gets destroyed real fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like those Atlantean guards coming in with those fucking. Those little space, weird little fucking dildo guns, whatever the fuck they are, were just... And she had her fucking trident out, fucking them up the whole time.
Yep.
Like,
The fight scenes in this movie
she just let...
fantastic.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
fantastic.
just let this dude finger fuck the shit out of her, and now she's throwing motherfuckers into his tube television. Like, fucking poor guy. He just wanted to bust a nut. That's all I wanted to do.
He's giving her the old fish hook.
Yep, there you go.
Now you're fighting everybody. I love the fight scenes in this movie.
I did
like
too.
all of them. I love because we've seen a lot of like fights in the air and things like that with like the Superman stuff, and it's always, I don't know what it is about it being underwater, because it's still the same premise.
Right.
But being underwater was just so much more satisfying than being in the air. It's like, okay, this is Dragon Ball Z. I've seen this.
Yeah, right?
And it's the exact same premise underwater, but it was so much better. Maybe it's just because the fight scenes were better choreographed.
So, cut just a little bit down the way.
Mm-hmm.
We had touched on it earlier, where Momoa is fucking butt chugging beers with his dad.
Yeah.
This was one of the one things that drove me nuts, was the forced funny, where the guy comes up and he's like, "Hey,
Oh, yeah.
are you that fucking Aquaman guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" He's like, "Can I get a selfie?" I'm like, "Oh, fucking barf."
With a pink phone.
Yeah, like,
I'm pretty sure it was pink.
oh no, it was. It was fucking...
Not that there's anything wrong with having a pink phone, but
No,
that was... I see where you're coming from. It was over the top.
Yes. Which, really, one of the only few times in the whole movie where it seemed forced to me.
Right.
Everything else, like, that's literally what I just said was my actual only gripe about this entire movie.
Yeah, it wasn't, like, it didn't bother me. Like, it definitely didn't take away from the enjoyment of the movie, but it didn't get a laugh in my theater of like 24 people.
No.
It was,
Mine did.
It was
because
just like
it was filled with a bunch of fucking high school girls, and they were like, and I literally went, and then just kept on watching.
Right, so I'm not going to go see a movie with Jimmy.
Oh my god!
And real quick, too, just so everyone knows.
Everybody was like, in my theater, it was like, oh.
Right.
It was like that.
You know, this movie's 2.5 hours long, give or take, and it does not seem like it. I mean,
No.
seems like a, hour 45 minute, hour and a half movie.
This movie is literally first, second, third act, like, to the T. This is how you tell a story.
That's exactly what I said to somebody today.
It is exactly how you tell a story.
They said, so what'd you think of it? I go, it was really predictable.
Yes,
But I
Not in a
don't
bad
mean it.
way.
But I don't mean it in a bad way.
Yeah.
Like, because I've definitely seen movies. I was like, yeah, this isn't. I knew that was coming, but it was like, this is the obvious way that you would tell this story.
Yes.
You introduced this part in this act, which means the follow up has to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know we're gonna see Aquaman's mom again.
Right.
And we
Oh,
know.
I totally
and we
call
know
that.
And we know she's gonna be at the lighthouse at the end.
Yeah, Amanda was my
Right.
sister was like, "Oh my god, wasn't it cool that his mom was alive?" I was like, "Amanda, that was really predictable." She's like, "What?" And I'm like, "It just made sense."
Well, the thing is, like, when you're
Same with Ant-Man and Wasp, honestly.
yeah.
But like,
Also a great movie.
also a great fucking movie.
I did.
Okay, shut the fuck
it's
up. You're
lower on
wrong.
my totem pole.
Your opinion's wrong. Okay, go on.
Well, you want to talk about funny movie, forced funny movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still very enjoyable.
Yeah. But no, it was funny that as I was watching this movie, like, I would pull my nephew closer to me and I'd be like, "That's the end of Act 1." And he, like, of course it just goes over his head, but it was absolutely predictable, but in a good way. Like, the story never felt, like you said, like it drug on.
Right.
2 hours and 20 minutes is a long time for a fucking movie. It didn't feel
No,
like
it
that
didn't.
at all to me.
There's a thing in writing called Chekhov's gun. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but it's like, basically, if you call attention to the shotgun above the mantle in Act 1,
Mm-hmm.
by Act 2, that shotgun should have been fired. Otherwise, you've kind of screwed your reader.
That
And
makes
that
a
is-
lot of sense.
that is
I've
ex-
never heard that before, but I that makes a lot of sense.
That
Absolutely.
is exactly the reason why I thought Castle Rock was such a shitty show. It was a bunch of guns on the mantle with never getting fired.
I never finished it. I got to like episode 5 and I was like, this is not the show for me, and I bailed.
But
I
it's
thought
like-
it was pretty good.
But yeah, if she
You only thought that way because of Debbie.
No, I
I'm
actually
just
thought it was
I'm
really
just
good.
making a joke. I'm forcing the funny here.
it had
Especially if you're wanting to start a series, because I literally went into this movie and I go, "Amanda, I want you to answer this, but don't fucking tell me." And she goes, "What?" And I go, "If they fucking shoehorn like 9 goddamn villains in, like every fucking movie does, I'm gonna be pissed off." I already knew that there was really only two, and
yeah.
it was perfect. Okay, because Black Manta to me is hands down one of my favorite villains.
Oh, and they did him justice like no other.
Yes, that whole fucking scene on the sub makes you realize why he has a hatred for Aquaman. Mm-hmm. Okay, so yes, now we're skipping to the sub scene.
Sure.
But you get there and you see these basically paramilitary pirates or whatever.
Sure, that's good. Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
because
They weren't Somalis.
yeah, not racist. So
I'm the captain now.
I think it did kind of throw me for a loop when Aquaman like turns around and is basically like, "No, I'm not going to help you." I was like, "Oh, damn." I kind of like that.
He thought about it though.
I know, but it's not. You don't typically see like normally, like in a superhero movie.
If it was a DC comic, he would have saved him. But in this
you
one,
need
it's
a
like
catalyst to
you,
make
you killed innocent people, asked forgiveness from the sea or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. Which
That was a good line.
Oh,
He's
he
fucking
looked-
cold.
and he looks so fucking sexy with his shirt off. And this is my MCM for the fucking year. This is my man crush of the man crush.
Okay,
Monday.
that's a fair man crush.
Yeah.
I've always loved Jason Momoa. Since I like actually started seeing him in things, like I never saw him in Baywatch. Or whatever
Yeah,
the
that
Baywatch
is,
thing
I've
was.
seen pictures, but
But the first thing I ever saw him in was Stargate Atlantis.
that's right. Strange, but
Atlantis,
yes.
yes.
Right.
And then he was great in that. It's like, then that show got canceled or whatever. And then he was in the first season of Game of Thrones, and he was
Which I like I was saying, I've only just now started binging this, and rip gone too soon.
Here's a real quick fun fact about Game of Thrones, Jason Momoa.
Mm-hmm.
He was having trouble finding work after that because no one thought he spoke English.
Really?
Everybody thought like he could not speak English because of how well he did the Dothraki.
That's insane.
That
Because
is
he
insane.
because he
Trouble
did like
finding
3
work.
seasons of
Yeah.
Stargate Atlantis.
Holy shit!
Yeah, he had really hard time finding work. I was watching a little like compilation video of
Yeah.
some of the funny stuff he's done.
Another funny
Also,
thing.
that whole like it every time he was on scene, like he was the presence.
Yeah.
Because he was that strong silent type, and like after everything happened in the show and everything went down and goes away and all of a sudden dragons and shit start happening, I was like, okay, I can see now why they would be like, yeah, we want this guy for fucking Aquaman, because this dude is like, even when he was playing a fucking dead guy, essentially, he was still riveting. Like, it was good. Like, he was good in it. So it's crazy that you're saying that he went three fucking years without being able to get a role because people thought he fucking spoke Durka.
One
Right.
of the
That's crazy.
Call me a racist.
one of the interesting things, if you watch the first season of Game of Thrones, you'll see like they shot the pilot like earlier than they shot the first episode earlier than they shot the rest of the season. You'll actually see him grow in size.
Yeah.
Really?
Because one of the complaints about him playing Conan is that he wasn't big enough. And if you watch Stargate Atlantis, he's not as cut as he is.
No, yeah, absolutely.
So in between, like as the first season went on, was when he was also doing Conan. So he was bulking up for Conan while he was
shit.
Khal Drogo.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Damn. So, I'm not even going to refer to him as his real name. Black Mana fucking gets on the ship. He fucking skips town. Calls it a day. Licks his wounds. Yada, yada, yada. I will say this. I thought that it was a decent introduction to that character. And I'm glad that, yes, he was in it. And they didn't overuse him, because I almost don't want them to use him in 2.
Just have him wait until like 3 or
like
something.
3, yeah.
I could have done without that helmet. God, that looks stupid.
No.
I know it's true, but it's like the same. It's the same thing as like seeing Hugh Jackman in yellow spandex. It's like some things just don't translate.
I see. I thought
I
completely
thought it was great.
different.
Well, and they explained why he needed the
yeah.
bigger helmet too.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, the friggin' laser beams.
Yeah.
The Atlantean technology was too great for that scuba helmet, which I thought. Like I said, I think that for the first time in a long time, I had actually watched a movie, DC wise anyway, where they didn't like overdo it with 9 fucking villains.
Yeah.
And it was just the right amount. He wasn't used he wasn't overused. He was only used 3 times in the movie, really. And all 3 of them were just quick little snippets, but it was all due to the Atlanteans basically. Well, they used him for later in the movie whenever they brought the fucking sub.
That's the one thing, like you were talking about forced comedy. My legitimate comedy in this movie was every time there was a quiet scene and then they just get blown up.
Yeah.
Like the 3rd time it happened, I literally, like when they were looking through the bottle.
Yeah.
And then they're like having that moment and they get blown up for the 3rd time. I fucking laughed in the theater. I was like, this is hilarious.
All right, so
real quick though,
It's almost like a meme.
am I the only one that thinks Amber Heard needs to stay bright red head?
no, she
She needs to just keep that look for the rest
If you
of her
don't
life.
mind, I'm gonna go in the bathroom real quick.
No shit.
My dick doesn't work, but I'm gonna fucking get it to work.
She
for
showed
that
on screen.
shit.
I was just like, whoa.
I saw the production photos beforehand,
Okay.
and I was like, damn.
I think
Like-
this is the first thing I've seen her in that I've actually liked her in.
Did you ever see Everybody? What is it? Everybody Loves Mandy Lane.
No, I don't even know what
That
that
was
is.
that's
I have
that's pretty.
no
good.
idea what the fuck that is.
It's like a thriller horror type movie, but
The
Okay.
only thing I know her, the only thing I really know her from is getting beat up by Johnny Depp.
yeah, right.
Yeah. So, where do we go from Aquaman basically telling Black Manta, deal with your own shit? And he barely gets away. Like, when his dad has got the fucking hand above the water and he's just like, ah! I was just expecting it to be like, like the tiniest little bloop. But, like, yeah. No! I was like, oh yeah, this shit's gonna be fucking dope.
It's like, he killed my dad. I'm like, no, he didn't. He just didn't save your dad. He Batmaned your
It's,
dad.
no, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. He didn't kill his dad.
No.
Like, his dad still would have been alive if he didn't shoot that thing that shrapnel.
Hey, also, you don't have to be a fucking pirate, bro. Like, nobody put a fucking gun to your head and said, you have to be a
also,
pirate.
what's with all the automatic firearms and a pressurized underwater thing?
I was thinking that too. I'm like, this doesn't. Yeah, that would never.
Oh, that's right. The next scene. When the fucking sub comes to the top, did those sailors seem all too happy to fucking slip and slide off the side of that thing into those lifeboats?
Dude.
They seemed like they were having the time of their lives while they were doing
We
it.
never get to do this when we're when we're not in danger.
I'm pretty sure 2 of those actors, the stunt actors or whatever that were sliding off there, they bashed really bad into each other. Because they were like, sliding down and kind of jumping onto the lifeboat.
Doing the
and one,
YMCA and shit as
Right.
they're fucking going down. Oh, man.
What was I gonna say? Shit, I forgot. Doesn't matter. Moving on.
Yep. So you move on to the next one. I'm going to hear you while I go rock a piss real quick.
Okay.
Because that's half a bottle already.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit! Jimmy's it's true to Aquaman. He's half into a bottle of fish eye.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor, but they should be. They also didn't offer to share any of this.
I
with us.
was
It's
thinking the
just
same thing.
I asked him for something to drink. He goes, "I got water.
That's it.
All the wine's for me." One of the things I liked about this movie, in addition to the fight scenes, and I actually like the treasure hunt aspect of it. I like that it kind of had kind of a Brendan Fraser mummy kind of aspect to it.
Sure.
I said National Treasure.
I was thinking National Treasure
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, it was just a fun movie.
One of the scenes I didn't like, and we're getting really close to it in our timeline here, is the
Well, then let's skip to it.
Yeah, we can jump around. It's fine.
with Waterman, and his dad driving back home to the lighthouse,
Yeah.
and that big typhoon, tornado, whirlpool,
Yeah.
thingamajigger that randomly appeared. Mm-hmm. I did not like that scene. It's that was the one scene I thought, well,
Where it was forced global warming down your throat. Like, stop polluting
Yeah.
our oceans.
Well, what else would you have with underwater?
No, I get that, but I just,
Okay.
I just thought that it's like they throw all
trash back.
Yeah, they throw all the trash back. I was just like, okay, I'm all for saving the fucking environment and things like that, but this is not Birdemic. We don't need to throw fucking global warming in the middle of it for like that twist in the middle of it for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no reason for it.
And no, I mean, okay,
I mean,
so
you
maybe,
okay.
You know, I was to say, maybe it was, what I'm referring to is that I thought it was over the top too much. They could have done the same thing with a lesser scale event, if that makes sense.
It was payback because whenever Drago fucking comes over,
I do love fucking seeing Dolph Lundgren and stuff.
right?
Oh, that was so good.
Whenever they had,
I had no idea he was in it.
I didn't either. I thought that was like as soon as I saw it, I grabbed my nephew. I was like,
It's He-Man.
yeah. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. He just looked at me and he's like, what? And I'm just like, just watch. This is gonna be awesome. But when they're having their like meeting of the fucking minds, and it's like, you know, the only person that can wage war on the world above is the Ocean Master, and you, sir, are not the Ocean Master, even though his name is Ocean Master,
right,
in the comics. To have a fucking that sub fucking come in and shoot torpedoes at them, and then later on they're just like, hey, thanks Black Mana, and he's just like, I don't want your money, I want to fucking kill Aquaman instead.
Wasn't he doing for money anyways? Like, he wanted the money.
He's a pirate, but at
Right.
one point he killed his dad. I get that vengeance is better than money.
Yeah.
What's Granddaddy's knife made out of that it actually pierced Iron Man's shoulder?
He said there was a real quick line where he said, I fused it with Atlantean steel.
Oh.
So it was able to pierce his skin.
I missed that part.
It was real, like, as in, like, he stabs him and he looks down and he's like, it's with Atlantean steel, and then that was it. That was the only thing you heard of it.
No, but like,
Yeah, I need that stuff telegraphed to me like Black Dynamite. Aha! I threw that shit before I came into the room.
What a great movie. I need to watch that again.
Shut up, little girl. Lots of cats have that name.
So, I mean, I get it. That little tidal wave thing.
See, it wasn't a tidal wave. Like, a tsunami, a giant tidal wave, I would have been
all
okay.
across the globe.
But
Like, it
this
wasn't-
motherfucker was typhoon and tornadoing and whipping everybody around. It should have just been one giant wave, and that would, to me, would have made more sense.
Right, but we got Amber Heard in her red fucking sexy hair.
And was she controlling it?
No. She was there to fucking actually get
Save
Arthur.
old man.
Yeah, she was there to be like, there's some
This
shit
is what's
going down below in my pussy region that you need to fix. First
All
off,
this is because of me.
and then the other thing is that, hey, all of what just happened, like, you need to get back down there and fix this.
And be King Arthur.
Yeah, remember all those times when you said that you weren't good enough? You're fucking good enough.
Right.
So, yes, over CGI'd.
Yes.
Not the worst that I've ever seen.
No, not at
looked
all.
Really, like, I knew going into this movie that it was gonna be heavily CG. It didn't disappoint.
Well, and again, that's why I say it's underwater Avatar, is because
how did they? That's why I want to see the behind the scenes. I want to see how they actually did all this underwater stuff. Like,
I guarantee it was mostly just face mapping. Like, or let me rephrase that. Their face was recorded. Their entire body, I'm sure they acted out upper body, and then everything else was CG'd.
Oh, okay.
I know
like
that-
all the hair is CG too.
Every single,
yeah.
that's what Kevin
Yeah.
Smith was talking about.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker spent 3 years saying, I did Amber Heard's hair.
That's
in
insane.
Aquaman.
You think they could just put him in like one of the make a green screen out of one of those NASA zero G things and just do it?
That would probably cost more.
Think so?
Go plane ride.
Then
You're
have an
talking.
intern
don't have to-
fucking map hair for a year? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying you don't have to send them into space.
No, you're
No,
talking
but you're
about
talking
the
about the
up and down
zero-G,
zero G
the-
flight.
Right? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
How you going to shoot? Yeah,
Well,
that's
you could,
not.
no,
gonna-
you could shoot it. You would
Yeah.
literally. I mean, it's just those things are stripped down. It's literally
Yeah,
just
but you're
the
not going
shell.
to get. You're not going to
All
get
you
the
gotta do is
movements.
green screen it and then just have her just float in the air while it's fucking zero.
Yeah, but it was more than just floating underwater.
I know.
You know, there had to been movements, certain movements that they had to do.
Camera wasn't filming. Let's do it again.
Right.
Oh shit! There's $500 million.
Jason puked again.
Damn it, Momoa! Come on now. So where do we
Cal
go?
Barfo.
Where do we go? I'm trying to figure out.
Where do we go now?
So there was a couple scenes
after the.
Well, I can't remember if this was before or after. A couple scenes of him growing up and old boy Willem Dafoe kind of teaching him and stuff like that. Which I have to get this off my chest before I forget.
I wonder if you and I are in the same boat.
Was it just me, or did Willem Dafoe, his character, look like Namor? Or Namor, or however you want to pronounce it.
That
from
was
Marvel.
one thing that went through my head too.
I was like, no, these are two different worlds.
I was just like, is this guy really part fish?
I don't think they did a really good job on his body either, CG wise.
Also, I don't think William Dafoe does a good job.
That's because you had fucking Jason Momoa there.
Yeah, no. I mean,
looking like a goddamn Adonis.
His movements underwater were not great.
Oh.
Everything else, no, that was fine.
But the other thing that I like about the Willem Dafoe character is I'll teach you how to do this color guard trick when you're older.
Yeah,
and then he never learns it. He just figures it out on his own.
He just figures it out on his own.
Oh, you just spin it around.
I was thinking the same fucking thing.
Is that the shotgun on the mantle? One of?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah. Since they showed it, they had to pay it off. And the other reason you know that you're going to see Aquaman's mom again is because she says, "I'll come back when I can, and I'll be here waiting for you." Well, like they set it up. If you don't do that, there's no way.
Willem Dafoe, like his character, he doesn't really come out and say that she was murdered. He just says that she's gone.
Gone. I knew that the whole
sacrificed.
Yeah. Which. That's why, as I was watching this, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's gonna be cool when she does finally fucking show up. But
it's like even though you know it's coming, you still get the tear.
Right.
I did. Okay, so where are we at now?
Let's see.
Besides half a bottle in,
That's more than half a bottle, son.
They go on their journey.
Their national treasure hunt.
Ooh, we're at this point already.
I mean, give or take.
So Act 2.
And then this is where we get our...
Well, I guess, Act 1, he finally goes down there and gets his ass kicked by...
we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before he goes on that national treasure hunt for the Lost Ark, he says, fuck this. I can take care of this dude.
How badass was that scene where they've got like 7 or 8 guards that are holding him in chains, and he's just like...
Gadoosh!
Yeah, he's just basically telling them, fuck you. Like, it takes that many, and they barely were holding him in chains.
An inch away from Ocean Master's face.
Yeah, it was fucking cool as shit.
Right. Which I was pleasantly surprised also by that actor. I can't think of his name. Who played Ocean Master, was Insidious.
Mm-hmm.
I thought fantastic choice.
Yeah.
Fantastic choice.
Now that he's, not in charge of Atlantis, he's going to have a great job as frontman of, what's that band? Shit.
I almost
Queens
said
of the Stone Age.
I almost said Motley Crue. I don't know why I almost said Motley Crue.
He looks like the frontman for Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay.
He does, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
So, he goes down there. We get to see Atlantis in its glory.
What did you think of the octopus drummer?
Okay, so that's a little Easter egg,
yes,
obviously.
That's why I was asking.
It made me chuckle, and it seemed out of place, but it made me chuckle.
It did seem out of place. But yes, I'm in the same boat. I was like, that's kind of a nod to the comics.
Exactly.
And then as I was listening to podcasts later,
He's got a name, and I can't think of his name either.
I can't remember it either, but it's whatever. I thought it was kind of cool, but also a little cheesy. In a good way.
But you need a little cheese in.
Right.
You do.
Especially DC. DC needs a little more cheese in it. Because that's what people like about the Marvel movies, is they do the right amount of humor, arguably, depending on who you are.
Right.
The right amount of seriousness and a decent amount of dark. Whereas for a while DC's just been dark.
Yeah.
And then the only chuckle in Man of Steel is at the end where she goes, "Welcome to the planet." Like that's the only joke in that whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
Besides Paul Kent saying, "You should let them kids die." Which that's what everybody hates about that movie. I go, that makes sense. That's a father looking out for his son.
Right.
Damn, I really after this conversation, I want to go back and rewatch that movie. It was a good movie.
It is a good movie.
Oh, heyo. So, okay.
Real quick, too, I got to get this out. Another, like, I guess this is more of like the, unless maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I don't think that I am. Was it me, or did you lose track that you were underwater when they were fighting because of the lava?
I did. But I will say that in skipping ahead a little bit, his shotgun on the mantle thing, whenever they're jumping the border, ridiculous. That whole, there's literally 9 million fucking guns on the top of the Atlantean wall, and they somehow miss so
they even
Atlantis and the Death Star stormtroopers are the worst fucking shots in the sky and in the fucking water.
They even missed the king.
Yeah.
Like they're shooting at the king too. Like they would have solved a lot of trouble real quick.
I did think that the fight between Ocean Master and Aquaman was a good one. I was a little let down by it. A little bit.
Do you think he was going to have a better chance? Do you think it was going to last longer, better?
I thought it was a little too quick, but I understand the need for it, because if they would have made that, like, let's just say like 2-3 minutes longer, it would have felt heavy and too long.
That was the problem that Man of Steel had with the Zod fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
It
actually all their fight scenes.
It just it was to me it was a little quick, but it was exactly what it needed to move the story along.
Yeah, sure.
So then all of a sudden, boom.
It's better than just him getting his ass bitched down. Like, bam, bam, bam. This is why you shouldn't have fought me.
Because that whole thing where he strikes his mother's trident.
It has weaknesses. You knew it was going to break the whole. I mean, again, predictable, but you know, it has a flaw.
And like I said,
it's actually made of trident layers.
Which trident layers would it be? Because mine was the grape lemonade one.
That would not be mine.
That was mine. That shit was fire.
I don't actually remember the flavor.
I think it was like strawberry kiwi, and then I think there was like a tropical. I'm such a fat fucking kid.
Yeah, I don't remember them. I don't remember them.
But you know, they finally escape. You know, they didn't jump. They didn't jump like they did in Guardians, like 9 times to get away from people. But they finally got away. And this was where I thought the comedic humor was going to lose me, and it actually drew me in, was the fish out of water stuff. I really did think, did I do that on purpose? Or
the world may never know.
Yeah. I thought that they were gonna like cram too much stuff as far, but that
in the whale's mouth, or
but that whole, like, she jumps out of the plane and the guy is like, "What the fuck?" and he's like, "Women," and then jumps out of the thing. Didn't take me out of it, actually.
Okay.
I really don't know why.
I actually missed that part because that's when I went up to take a leak.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
while they were having their chat in the plane, it's like, okay, this might be a good time to break.
Yeah, they're having their chat in the plane, and her little fucking decoder ring goes beep 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 beep, and she's like, "This is it," and just jumps out, and there's this fucking goat that the pilot fucks is like, and that's a sheep sound, but I don't know.
Close enough.
Like, okay,
yeah.
And he's just like, "But she doesn't have a chute," and he's like,
"Did he say redheads?" Or I think he said redheads.
Okay.
I think he said redheads, like redheads.
And then he jumps out, and then they fucking crater into the sand. Which, why didn't they make glass when they did that?
I don't know if they're not Superman strong.
The motherfucker took a grenade.
Yeah, it's true.
He took a grenade in the sub. Dad locked a fucking grenade and he took it.
It'd be no different than...
Isn't glass made by heat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Them coming down.
It would cause extreme pressure and heat, but not nearly what, like...
I'm just thinking that, like, they would be, I don't know, maybe a little more dense on the fucking surface than they would be in the water.
And also, we got his classic, woo!
Yeah, which I hated in fucking Justice League whenever he was on the fucking Batmobile.
All right.
Yeah, I hated that bullshit, but whatever.
Yeah, we got that line too again, I think. All right.
But that whole little desert scene was dope as shit to me.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
I liked the whole desert scene. I thought the payoff at the very end.
Well, because it was a stark contrast of underwater, dry ass desert.
But you see her fucking do something earlier that she did. And I was like, well, like, what is this gonna pay off for later? Boom! She fucking pulls a little bit of water out of his thing. Out of his fucking dome space, fucking drops it onto the little cylinder, and it's like one little drop of water fucking completely
It's like the Fifth
ignites.
Element.
Yeah.
And he goes, could have peed on it. It's like, yeah, she could have jerked you off too.
Right.
Oh my God, could you imagine what semen would have done?
Oh my.
His semen? You know he's fertile as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, okay,
Dude, there's actual fishing.
like legit, there is so many more ways to get water
Dude,
or
could you
moisture than
Could
pulling.
you just do that from a distance?
Yeah.
Milk him?
Just take it right from the ball sack.
Okay, but would
That'd
would
be-
the little
wait.
swimmers come out of the... Oh, don't go
this is
near
a
her.
whole nother
Don't go near
story.
her, bro.
I'm pregnant. We didn't even have sex.
Redheads.
So then was it Rome that they ended up going to?
They were in Italy, yeah.
Italy, yeah.
So they go there. This is one thing that I didn't like, her eating the flower. Like, I get it. She's not
Yeah.
from this world, so she eats the flower. But then fucking my man crush, he eats the flower, and I was like,
the scene's all right now.
I was like, yeah, there we
Eat that
go.
fucking rose, Momoa.
Patriarchy like a motherfucker right there.
Would you have done it?
Him?
No.
Would you?
We all know the answer to that.
Would you fuck Jason Momoa? That's
I would let him fucking bury himself deep inside my cabin's ass. Woo!
Would you have eaten the rose?
Call me Pegmaster.
For her, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes. Peg leg, peg. Yep.
I look at her munch on a rose and be like, I don't even know her.
And then what do we get after that?
Her doing the waterworks in the
the
pond.
little dolphin thing. My
Yeah.
sister was like, "Oh my god, look at dolphins!" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch."
What book did the little kid give her?
Pinocchio.
Was it Pinocchio?
But yeah, it was Pinocchio because that's where she saw what. Yeah, okay, yeah. And then we get our
Fight scene.
fight scene.
Which was fucking dope.
Even the Atlantean guards. I thought that whole scene where him like running through the walls to get him. I thought that was really, really good.
Yep, I felt really bad for the people that were living there. I'm like, these homes have been there for fucking thousands of years.
M'scusi.
You're just running through that fucking. Which, what was the other movie that kind of reminded me of the Hulk?
Yep.
And it also kind of reminded me of one of the 007s, where he was doing a motorcycle chase on top of fucking buildings and shit. Was that Casino Royale?
It's either that one or Quantum, I think.
Yeah.
And
But-
almost any Tom Cruise movie because he's always running on a roof at some point.
Yeah.
But-
I think there's some Bourne movies that did some running through shit in Italy
Right.
too.
But no, like that whole little battle scene, I thought it was really cool where like Momoa's playing the like dumb jock essentially, but he figures out the little puzzle like you were saying earlier, putting the bottle on there, and he's like, "Oh, look at this! It's a fucking kaleidoscope." And she's just like, "Ooh, it's fucking pretty." There it is. That's where we got to go. It also didn't show where they had to go. It just showed the direction of where to go.
Right.
Because, hashtag flat Earth, but.
Right.
For show. But this whole little battle scene, I will say that like the Atlantean armor and everything is pretty badass. What the fuck, man?
Sorry, man. I'm trying to lean this thing
it's
too
cool.
far
The
in.
Atlantean armor is like all badass, but it definitely has one major flaw.
The toilet.
What the fuck was that?
I immediately thought, I chuckled, I said, and then I stopped and I was like, wait, how's he going to get out?
Yeah.
He's going to be stuck in the toilet forever.
Well, I'm sure they can.
I mean, I get it.
Fetch
I
him
get it. But, yeah. You're right. Can they just pee in their suit?
Have to. And I'm
You would
sure it's
have
got
to.
a filtration system in there because it's essentially a rebreather.
Right.
You just
We're trying.
Tony's helmet's going yellow again.
I know they couldn't do it, but I'd love to see a floater in that toilet too. Where like he was
Oh,
forced.
yeah.
He's like,
and there's got to be a
"Oh."
little corn nugget in the fucking turd, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna throw up.
That would have been great.
I'm gonna Cal Barfo all over.
What
the place.
did you think that this fight scene, this whole little chase scene, was the right length? Do you think that it was too short? Because I did not like the ending. I thought the wine thing was kind of fucking lame and stupid. Where she,
It didn't bother me.
It was okay. I was indifferent on it. It was neither good or bad. It was just there.
Is that just because the wine
didn't go in my belly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing
It's a waste of wine.
I do like the fact that
She
throughout
stabbed
that
those
entire
motherfuckers with
fight,
wine?
Yeah.
there was no teaming up.
Oh yeah. No.
It was completely separate, which is
Yeah.
great because you could take that fight and extend it a little bit longer.
And
But still,
everybody gets their moment.
exactly.
Yeah. I thought that this was a really good end to. I mean, really, until the credit scene, we don't see Black Manta again. So it was fitting enough. Like, I feel like if he does show up again, people are gonna be like, "Well, Aquaman just kicked his ass the whole time." Well, that's kind of the point. It's really his main nemesis for a long time. Obviously, like everybody, they have the one, and then there's always the subgroups.
Right.
So this one is just always going to be a fucking thorn in his side forever.
He's comparable to his Joker.
Yeah,
Batman's
exactly,
Joker.
exactly. So I
I
know
think-
that Tim didn't like the oversized helmet, but
Beautiful. Thank you for not
I
changing
was
it.
so happy with that. And yeah, skipping ahead a little bit, same with the fucking traditional Aquaman suit.
Oh, I wet myself on that one.
Okay, so let's skip ahead to probably one of the most badass scenes I've ever seen in a fucking movie of all time. They're just having a fucking lovely little time, holding hands, doing a little fucking flicking the bean action. All of a sudden, choppy waters, huge storm, right? What the fuck comes out of the ocean but some of the most metal fucking shit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The fucking trench monsters.
They looked like something, and I cannot place my finger on it. I'll have to think of it.
They look like better versions of Reptile in the first Mortal Kombat movie.
Slightly, yeah.
Shots called, but on point.
Right.
I will admit to that. When he jumps into the water and you finally
That
see
is really-
how
I mean-
many of those motherfuckers are all around them.
Yeah, because that scene was in the trailer, and I was like, "What is this?" You know, like, is he controlling these? What is this? And then, sure as shit, you know, it's like, oh my god,
Yes.
like that's not even a joke. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Like I said earlier in the podcast, broken dick, but I was hard as fuck during that. Oh my god. That whole little scene on the boat where they're just like whooping their ass, but there's just too many.
Right.
Numbers are overdoing it to where they don't stand a chance. Fucking light that flare and jump in the water, and then as the flare's going out, he pulls it out of his back pocket, fucking strikes another one and keeps going.
right.
And that's when you really see there's fucking millions of these things or thousands,
Right.
whatever.
Well,
Holy shit.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That was part of the original Atlantis community, and so they've, you know, over the years created their own quote unquote air quotes here tribe or civilization.
That's where. Well, obviously we know that it's where his mother was banished to.
Right. So yeah, it's only fitting that there would be millions.
And it kind of makes sense too. Like, we haven't been that deep in the ocean. We don't know what's fucking down there besides whale bones. Like,
right.
I mean, there could be some gnarly motherfuckers like that swimming around.
Be some hot ass MILF Nicole Kidman's down there too.
I will say that whole little scene like kind of threw me off for a second. I kind of had to do a double take and be like, okay, what the fuck did I just see? Like, they swim into an underwater fucking tornado, and then all of a sudden they get shit out,
where. I guess it was like the center of the earth is what they were kind of describing
They're
it
saying it
as.
was like the Earth's core.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It's Middle Earth.
Middle Earth, yeah. And then
That's
so
where
he gets
Gandalf went.
so they get down there, cry moment, meet his mom again. She says he's the chosen one.
first off, she's fucking like adorned in the fucking armor of all of
the
those
trench
fucking
monsters.
trench monsters. Like,
Yeah, like she's
Like
fucks him up.
She skinned him.
yeah,
Right.
turned him into fucking armor. Like,
Right.
She is a badass.
Oh, and we never really said this, and I'm sure it's a given, but he's going down there to get the trident. Was trident?
The original Atlantean king.
Yeah.
King's Trident.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but nevertheless, yeah. So he's going down there, and a Leviathan is protecting it.
Yes.
In the Earth's core, if you will, and that's where it was hidden. So no one, no one of the wrong hands would
Yeah,
take
because
it.
his mother's like, I've tried it several times, but I couldn't beat it. And he didn't even fucking try. Like, the thing bitch smacks him a couple times, and then
He just runs and grabs
then
it.
and we didn't even talk about this because it was in the trailer so many fucking times when he was a wee little kid.
Mm-hmm.
My sister heard me in the theater. I was like, "Oh my god, little kid Momoa is so cute." But when he's sitting there like talking to all the fish and stuff in the aquarium,
Mm-hmm.
when Leviathan is talking to him the whole time, and finally he just starts talking back, and it's like, "What the fuck? You can hear me?
Right.
What? You can hear me? For real?" Oh shit! Shit's changed.
I've just been talking to myself.
Right. You are the chosen one.
Literally, just needed someone to talk to. Is all
Right.
it took.
That's all it took.
But it was pretty badass though. That it's like, all right, go ahead and try. When you fail, I'm going to fucking murder you.
Right. See that?
Red
that pile of
herrings.
bones over there?
But fuck.
But fuck.
Woo! He goes over and the trident's fucking
Wom,
Yeah.
wom, wom,
throwing
wom.
off these fucking Beats by Dre fucking like super hard bass notes. He just grabs that motherfucker out of the dead motherfucker's hand, and then all of a sudden is adorned in his fucking armor that he was wearing.
Of it. Yeah.
Dick was hard and crying at this moment. And the worst part
Your
is,
dick was crying?
oh, it was dripping from the fucking slit, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Holy shit! And I knew that it was.
I'm gonna puke.
I knew it was coming because I seen it in the trailers. But just the fact that he and one of the toy companies ruined it too.
They always do.
The Funko.
Yeah, with early promotion. Well, it wasn't Funko. It was like Hasbro or one of those. They released a figure of him in his traditional Atlantean like outfit, and I was just like, just seeing that on screen, like,
And it was well done. Like, it didn't look corny. It didn't look like spandex. Like, it was well done. Also, too, like, I was very pleased with the way everything else looked. Like, you got the kind of scraggly dark beard and the scraggly hair, but it was all, like, when he put that suit on, it was all well done. It looked fitting for him. Mm-hmm. And the way he stood, and yeah, I mean, I'm kind of getting chub right now.
yeah,
so.
I can see it.
Yeah.
And then fucking and them strip club pants you're wearing.
You know it. My sweatpants.
Yeah. So
now he's got the weapon of destruction. It's time to bitch his brother down. Stepbrother. Half-brother.
and they were on their way to where was Ocean Master on his way to?
One of the,
The
other
fish people.
tribes.
The fisherman.
Well, because he acted
No,
like
that
a
was
little
before
he
that.
acted like a little bitch and fucking slit the fish's throat.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He fucking slit that motherfucker's throat.
I wasn't a big...
This was like crab people, I guess.
Yeah,
or-
it was. They were called the fishermen, and it was just people that turned into fish or underwater species. So yeah, the king was a crab, king crab.
and
Get it? Boodoo.
So fucking Ivan Drago and him come rolling up in the most badass of fucking seahorses and sharks you've ever fucking seen.
With friggin' laser beams on their head.
Dude, this I get upset when movies are over CG'd. Mm-hmm. This fucking end scene, like this massive fight, was fucking the tits.
There's a lot going on. I can't wait to watch that and just see what's going on in the background. Mm-hmm. how many little side fights are going on and what people are riding and stuff like that.
What'd you think?
Oh, I thought it was great.
Anything wrong with it that you saw? No?
The only thing about that scene that was like, okay, is like, okay, fighting's going on too long. There's too many casualties. Let's make out for 5 minutes while shit's still blowing up around us.
Yeah.
Still fine. Like it's you're telling a good story. I mean, I get it. But yeah, in the practical world, maybe not so much tongue and get back to work.
Right.
What did you think about the Earth? Well, the Earth, the seafloor, like, and then all of a sudden Aquaman fucking shows up out of the ground with probably one of the most badass looking.
He's the mother of sea dragons.
Holy shit!
Well, two things with that. Number one,
if that was a crab, I want to cook that motherfucker and eat all of its meat. Holy shit!
So I kind of thought that could have been, and I know this is going
You're just
thinking outside the box here. That could have been something that back in the day pirates called the Kraken. You know what I'm saying? And then it finally got banished.
Well, fuck, the Leviathan earlier could have been
a Kraken. No, that was the Leviathan.
That was the Leviathan.
Okay,
that came out.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the second thing, again, going back to Avatar, here's the main motherfucker riding the biggest motherfucker. So every other motherfucker is going to follow that guy. Look, he's riding the big thing no one can tame. I guess he's our king now. Which is basically what happened in Avatar.
Okay, so what'd you think about the final...
That should be how we elect our president. Whoever can ride the bigger dick. They get the votes.
Oh, shit. Okay, so what did you think of the final battle?
On top of the Atlantean sub, we'll call it.
So that whole battle underwater was fucking... It was gorgeous, but it was all leading to this moment.
The big fight.
Yes.
I actually thought that him fighting on quote-unquote land actually took away from it. Because you're fighting the Sea King.
Yeah.
That he should have
quote-unquote ocean master.
He should have kicked his ass in the same kind of environment as the Ring of Fire. But that said, if he wasn't...
He figured out how to whirlwind his dick.
Right. If he could... So, if they did that in the water, he wouldn't have been able to color guard his way to victory.
Color guard to victory. I fucking love it. It was... The only thing that I had a problem with was as soon as it's over, he gets in shackles, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, take my brother away. And now I take his wife. Ah! Like, everyone is just like, yeah, it's her choice. It's her choice. It seemed awfully quick, and I understand that throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, she done left a long time ago.
Oh yeah, totally. She was only doing that for political reasons. So I understand that, but it also just seemed like kind of a dick move. Like, hey brother, you know how you wanted to hit this? Already did it. So, did you stay for the credit scene?
I did.
Yes.
Okay.
I did get on my phone to make sure that I wasn't going to miss a credit scene.
Yeah,
because of Marvel, I have gotten to that point where I don't want to...
You just stay.
One, I knew I was going to stay, but two, I got on my phone and Amanda goes, are you going to make us stay to see if there is something? I was like, there is, and I showed her the phone. I was like, there is
Which
something.
was nice because it was only after the first little
2-minute
credit. I guess you call it mid-credit or whatever. Yeah.
I mean, it obviously is teasing for Aquaman 2.
Underwater Boogaloo.
I mean, did you think after getting done with the movie that was even necessary?
Yeah, yes. Because it definitely showed that...
Well, you need to show that he was still alive.
Right, and resilient, and he's coming back at some point. We don't know when, but he's working on it, and old boy, whatever that... the conspiracy theory. Yeah, thank you, racist. And I don't know the story behind them. Is he a character that I don't know about? Or
honestly, I believe he is.
Yeah,
I'm not 100%.
I feel like I overheard somebody in the theater say that he's actually the guy that teaches Aquaman things.
But I feel like he's somebody because why would they put him back in there? Why wouldn't they just show him fixing the armor?
I was actually curious early on in the movie whenever they cut to the news feed and he was in there. I was like, why did I fucking see this? And it pays off in the credits,
right?
So okay, here's my question for you. We skipped a lot of the movie.
Did we?
Well, I mean, we
Shortened it.
We hit on the big things.
Yeah.
Favorite part of the movie?
As
Like, what was your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite part of the movie is when Nicole Kidman ends up on the dock at the end.
At the end?
Yeah, I'll look at the. I like the emotional payoff.
Yeah,
I'm a softie.
Dad going to the dock every
yeah.
every single day.
I
was like, I'll never experience love. Oh my god! At least I get it today.
I liked. And it's not necessarily a part of the movie, but or a certain scene of the movie, but how in a lot of it they stay true to the comics, and they did not disappoint there. They didn't change what they thought would look better on screen. They did what the fans wanted for costumes and appearance. Outside of his blonde hair and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the only. I mean, a lot. I do remember a lot of the internet like getting pissed off because they were like, "Oh, Arthur's supposed to be blonde hair, blue eyes, Aryan," and it's like, get the fuck over it. Like,
right.
If Catwoman can be black,
right? and they've already casted him for other previous movies, and he was well received. And yeah, so I mean, just how they stayed fairly true to the comics. And real quick, do we know, does this follow a certain storyline?
I don't know.
Okay,
I really don't. To be honest with you, like I said, I know enough about it to say that this is fairly accurate.
Comment below if you know. No.
Smash that like button. Okay, so my favorite part of the movie, shocker, was when they swim to like a sunken pirate ship.
That was pretty
and
cool.
And they jump through into like a void that's air.
Big air bubble.
Yeah. Shockingly, I thought that like little effect was done really well.
It was.
Real quick, I'm going to interrupt you there. Sorry to interrupt you. But,
you're fine.
One of the things I did like that they explained very briefly, but it made sense. And I related it to, they basically said that only like pure bloods can breathe air and water. And it reminded me of like vampires, right? Only the pure bloods can transform or, turn into a bat or have wings or something like that. And I thought that was pretty cool. Like the real lineage has extra power.
Yeah. There was way more. I went into this movie honestly thinking this was going to suck.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go. I wasn't gonna go
did.
far as suck because I was sold by the trailer, but then I was also sold by the Batman versus Superman trailer. So
I went into it thinking exactly what I said. As soon as the movie started, I leaned over to Debbie and said, "If this movie sucks, DC's over." And I knew, because they knew that, I'm sure as well. If this movie wasn't well received, they were done.
The reason that I thought that it was going to suck is that I felt like Wonder Woman had really raised the bar so much that people were going to judge this movie based on that one. And they're both great movies. I definitely do say that I am a fan, absolutely 100% of Wonder Woman. I like this one a little better, only because it's so awesome to finally see Aquaman get his just dues.
Yeah.
He's no longer a punchline anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's really, I think, what was...
Meanwhile, back at the Super Friends, Aquaman makes a sandwich because he can't do shit.
Hey, fish, give me a Dr. Pepper. Thank you. Like,
right.
For so long, he was such a punchline. When for years I'm watching this motherfucker throw sharks out of the ocean and eat people.
Right.
Like, he's always been he's been a badass. And yeah, I mean, after a certain point, he needs to get back to the water. But they don't do that in this movie. They're taking that part of the... It's kind of like how for the longest time in the comic books, wood and the color yellow would fucking hurt Green Lantern. Like, those were part of his mythos for so long, and they were just like, hey, let's forget about that for a second.
Right. Yeah.
And let's focus on these other things. And yes, I'm like the only person on the planet that still thinks that the Green Lantern movie wasn't as bad as everybody gives.
You're not alone.
Problems.
It's not. No, it wasn't. It's not a bad movie. It's just not a good movie.
But overall, I give this 3 Jelly Bellies out of 3.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I give this.
Did I say Jelly Bellies?
You did
Jelly
say Jelly
Bellies.
Bellies.
Fuck, I meant Swedish Fish. I don't know.
Okay.
That would have made way more sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I give this probably about 7 Petrodetron goldfishes out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna say a solid 7, maybe 7.5 red Sour Patch Kids.
Okay.
Not fish related, but
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Sorry, I just thought candy and it sounded good.
I mean, he's the resident fisher on the show. He could have been like,
could have-
3 balls of stink bait out of 5. But no, he fucking went with Sour Patch Kids. So is that a good place to end this?
I think so. Thanks for listening. This is our January episode. I don't know what movie we're gonna do for February. What comes out in February? Does Dark Phoenix come out in February?
Ooh, that soon?
I think so.
Well, Captain Marvel will be March.
Right.
It's the day before my birthday, I believe.
Goddamn, March is gonna be a busy month.
Yeah.
April's gonna be a busy month too. But in March, American Gods comes back on, so Watchers will be covering that. And then April is Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, which I will be caught
June
up at that
7th
point.
for Dark Phoenix.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. For some
That's
reason,
way
I thought it
far.
was in February.
So maybe Watchers won't do anything until February, March.
What if we did a movie in Rewind, like something from the 90s?
Well,
Let's go to 80s and
Or
let's get
80s.
our Dolph Lundgren on and watch Masters of the Universe.
Yeah,
and
seriously, let's do something like
I
that.
told
if there's
I-
not a movie that's come out,
I
let's
told
review
Chris.
something.
I told Chris that whenever we did the last one that we did, as far as commentaries for, so we've done on Bacon and A's, we've done Star Wars, and then we did Ninja Turtles. Like, I brought up a couple crazy movies, and that shit got nixed real hard. Like, I want to go real obscure. Like, I have a hard copy of Caligula. And I think,
Jesus.
yes, I want to do like you said, like Watchers Rewind or something like that, where we do basically commentaries for older stuff. But we'll figure. I mean, the Watchers will figure out. Hopefully, Tim will let me do Game of Thrones, because I don't plan on being a fucking negative Nancy or a Debbie Downer, but apparently all the crazy stuff hasn't happened yet, from what I've been told. I don't know. I'm so far behind on it.
I'm
not completely caught up yet, but I'm definitely vested in the show to where I definitely 100% want to see where this ends. So like watching it on Sunday night or even like Monday and then coming over to your place and then doing an episode about it.
Sure.
I'm down to do it.
All right,
so
sweet.
Final season of Game of Thrones Watchers, I definitely want to be a part of. So
All right. Well, thanks for listening. And check us out on watchersonthecouch.com. You'll find links to, everything pretty much that we do. So that's all for this one. Sarah and I will have our final Doctor Who episode at some point as soon as her throat feels better. But until next time, I'm Tim Pickerel.
I am Jimmy Lopez.
And I am Nick Beck.
And now our watch is ended. Until next month.
Bye.